Scott, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to getting back to action this weekend, and it's an exciting FA Cup clash to get our teeth stuck into. Can I get your thoughts on into that one?
Yeah, a good game for us to play in, a very, very good side. Luke's done a fantastic job there. Somebody I know really well, Luke. Very good manager, very good coach, and he's done a brilliant, brilliant job there. And they've got some good players. They have a really healthy way of playing. I've really enjoyed my work this week watching them and kind of looking at what they do and how they do it and how we can, try and stop them and how we can hurt them. It's been a really good week and it's given me a lot to think about. But yeah, really enjoyed watching them, and like I say, it's a game we're looking forward to.
And off the pitch, everybody knows there's been some talks going on. There's been some rumours. We're happy that it's now been put to bed. Gillingham made their appointment, but I just want to get your sort of take on it recently.
Listen, it's normal for there to be interest in this industry in terms of when you're doing well, other clubs will kind of, show interest in you, and it's kind of normal. Like I've said before, it's nice to be recognised for the work that you're doing. But I do want to state my head was never turned at any given time. I was fully focused on the job here, and I always have been. Nothing's ever changed for me. Whilst everyone was probably panicking in the background, I just got on with my job and didn't make nothing of it at all, and never have done. My head was never turned, like I say, and that's the end of the matter as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, good. And back to the football now. FA Cup's always an exciting competition, isn't it? I'm sure you've had some brilliant clashes in there as a manager, a coach and a player as well. How much are you looking forward to sort of getting involved with that with Crawley? Yeah,
of course, it's one we always look forward to every year. It's an opportunity for us to go and upset a team and get through to the next round and see who we get in the next round. It's kind of exciting. And it's a brilliant way for the club to earn some much needed cash, and it's always good for that. But yeah, we're looking forward to the game.
Yeah, and in terms of NOTTS County, obviously you spoke a little bit about them in the first question, but a team that probably plays similar style of football to us, possession-based, like to keep the ball, it should make for a really exciting game, shouldn't it?
It should, yeah. They're a really good side. Let's make no mistake about that. They're a really good side. They are very similar to us in many ways. They've got some really good players, and Luke's probably a year down the line from where I am at the moment. He's had probably that group of players for a while now, and even though he's added to that, they've got some good players and, like I say, really, really good way of playing. I really enjoyed my work this week watching them and kind of understanding, and a lot of it's very similar to us. A lot of it is very similar to us. But no, we're going to have to be on our best in order for us to get anything from the game. But like I say, we've got good players ourselves, and we've got a good way of playing, and hopefully we can go there and enjoy the occasion, enjoy the game, and hopefully come away with the win. Yeah,
morale seemed really good in camp this morning when we were down at training. How important is it to have, this positive attitude and, take the positives from the recent games? Because as we spoke about so many times, the performances have been there. We're not getting outclassed in these, recent games, are we? We have been putting in some performances that we just need to turn into victories.
Oh, listen, there was loads were good about Saturday at Forest Green. Loads of it was good. Especially in that first half, we created a lot of chances. And we've got to kind of realise where we are and what we are. We're very much a development side in many ways, whilst results are important, of course, for the supporters and for everybody involved in the club. We want to win as many games as possible, but we've also got to realise that we are trying to develop players that are not the finished article, and whilst we have them sort of players in our team, we really like working with those players, and we want to improve them and develop them and make them better as the months progress. We've got players who will miss chances. We've got players who won't defend certain actions as well as what they may do in 3-4 months' time. And we're still kind of developing these players as we go. And that's important that we realise that's what we are. We're possession-based as well, so the players are under quite a bit of pressure to play the way we're trying to play. And whilst the fans have really enjoyed it and taken to how we've done it, You know, it's hard for the players at times, especially when the results are not following. But we will not change. We're quite adamant about that. The players know we won't change. The players don't want to change. You know, they're keen on working really hard. And whilst the results are not there, we'll still keep doing what we're doing in order for us to turn it around. Players have been great, you know, and like I say, some of them performances have been really good. You know, you remember the Wrexham game. I thought it was outstanding against Wrexham. I thought we were very good in large parts of Saturday's game against Forest Green. We've taken 14 points in the last 2 months. If you was to say, you know, we've got 7 points in September and 7 points in October, or we're doing okay. But the fact of the matter is that we took 13 and 1 means that, oh, we're not doing okay. Well, it's the same amount of points. So we've got to kind of realise where we're at, what we are. Also, on top of which, we're very young and we're very new. You know, from Saturday there were 3 players who played Saturday who was here when I first come through the building, through the door. 3 players, which was Corey Adai, Travis Johnson and Nick Cerula. You could add Kellen Gordon to that, but I did sign Kellen in January after I'd been here a while. You know, so you look at that, it's a new team. It's a completely new team, and you know, we've done all right and we're doing great, and we're really pleased with what's happened so far.
Thanks, Scott.
Sure. You've answered most of my questions so far, but with the results, how they've been in the last few games, on Saturday, is the result more important than the performance, or does the performance still really matter to you?
I think obviously the performance is important to me because of the way we play. We always go after performances, and we feel that the result will be a byproduct of them performances if we continue in that vein. We played that same way 100 times, 98 times, we win that game, right? But of course, the result is big because we want to win games, and we want the supporters to pay their money like they paid and come all the way down to the Cotswolds to watch a game in the rain, and we wanted to send them on down the road with the 3 points. We didn't do that, you know, and I felt for the fans after the game, and I stood there and clapped them for probably longer than I normally do, because I wanted to show them that I care about them, you know, and I got wet with them.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate the supporters, and I know the players certainly do, and you know, and it's difficult to get that balance between, yeah, we want the result, but also the performances are everything.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Ronan Darcy. He's been on hot form scoring-wise recently. How important has he been to your team, and how pleased how quickly he settled as well?
Darcy's been great. You know, he's done brilliant for me. You know, I had him at Swindon, obviously, and had a relationship with him there, and he was great for me there. And kind of when he come available for us in the window, you know, we moved quite quickly to get it done. You know, we have a great relationship now. You know, he's got a good relationship with the coaching staff. You know, he's very busy on the pitch. He makes things happen. He'll score. If he doesn't score, he'll make a goal. You know, and he's done great for me. So yeah, long may that continue.
Yeah, and on Saturday, I think we said on Monday, you said it's a different kind of pressure this weekend. What did you mean by that? Is it just because it's nice to have a little rest from the league with the results the way they've been? Yeah,
I think so. I think obviously when you've gone league game after league game after league game, you kind of, you know, you're looking at what points you're picking up and in the games that you play, and then of course when you come away from that, you've now got a game that you still want to win, of course, but there's no points involved. So, you know, it's a different kind of pressure, but you still want to go there and win. Of course, there'll be fans travelling, I'm sure, to Notts County, and we want to make it a good day for them.
Yeah, and with the squad, how are we looking with the squad? Any players returning this weekend?
Yeah, there's a few returning, so we're not far away. We're not far away from a full complement. Dion Conroy won't be included. But we're not far away from everybody else being pretty much there.
And talking of the squad, we're in November now, nearing the January transfer window. It comes around quick, doesn't it? I'm assuming you're already starting conversations, are you, with the owners about who you would like to bring in?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're actually going to have a staff meeting Monday regarding what we think we need and where we probably need to strengthen. I'll take that back, obviously, to the owners and start them discussions. But no, listen, I think the squad's done great. I think that we recruited really well in the summer, and you know, I think to play the way we're playing, that quickly and to gain the points that we've gained, you know, in such a short space of time, I think's brilliant for everybody, really. You know, including the players, obviously, that we've signed and the way we've coached the team, and of course the owners who have had a big part of bringing them players in. So credit has got to go to everybody, really. But no, we're really pleased with the business we did in that window. Of course, you always have to look and think, do we need to strengthen? Has it gone as well as we planned? It's not gone too far off what we planned, but there's always room to, you know, to want more.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Cool. Ash.
And Scott, I know we are still far away from that January transfer window. I just wanted to carry that on. I know you can't be too specific as well, but what areas would you like to strengthen within the squad? What are you looking for out of the upcoming window?
Well, I think it's always nice to have players that you turn around to on the bench and you think, right, he can make a difference, he can make a difference. And I think whilst I feel that we have got that, I do think that we need a little bit more. You know, I think that we do just need that little bit more, maybe where you think that, you know, you look at, really speaking, the striker side of things, for argument's sake. You know, Dan Horsey's done great for us, and whilst I think Lolas can play up there as a striker, and at a push probably Campbell could, but kind of after that we haven't really got another, you know, number 9, as it were. So that might be an area where we think about certainly strengthening. But apart from that, you know, there may be other areas we might need to tinker with. Not tinker, but probably just galvanise a little bit by bringing another body in, maybe. But like I say, I'm really happy with how the squad's done. I think the players have done fantastically well.
And moving on then, it's FA Cup weekend this weekend, a huge competition in English football history. But could you paint a picture for us of what the tournament means to you? Maybe some happy memories in the past or moments that you thought were, you know, quite big for yourself?
Yeah, from sort of like being a young boy watching the FA Cup finals, you know, with my dad. You know, it was kind of like back then, in the late 70s, you know, the programme would be on all day. It'd be an all-day event sort of thing, the FA Cup final, you know, and you used to watch, the cameras would go to the hotels of the 2 playing squads that were in that final, and they'd travel with them to the stadium on the coach. It was just a big event, and probably the magic of that's gone a little bit now, or had gone. I think it's probably back a little bit more so now. And then, of course, always watching the giant killing was always kind of good to watch that when you were younger, you know. And even the finals, you know, there was some big finals. I can't remember the years. Probably 1987 was the Coventry Tottenham, you know, where Coventry was the underdog. I always used to like watching the underdog do well. You know, Wimbledon against Liverpool, I can't remember the year, but again, I kind of remember the game, you know, where the underdog went and won the game. Always remembered them sort of games. And then kind of from a coaching point of view, when I was non-league, we always played, you know, I always got through to the first round. And, you know, I remember playing Reading, I remember playing Notts County, funny enough. You know, and then as you get sort of like into your coaching and that, 2 seasons ago I played Man City, for Swindon. I was the assistant manager there then, and we played Man City. The disappointment for me for that game was Pep Guardiola didn't come to the game. He had COVID, so I was really, really disappointed not to have, you know, stood, you know, shoulder to shoulder with him and you know, and had that experience of being in the technical area next to him, and didn't have that. So I was disappointed with that. But of course, we played a full strength Man City side, so that was interesting going into that week, looking at how they played and what we could do to try and hurt Man City, who had Gundogan and De Bruyne playing, and, you know, top players playing, and it was really good. I really enjoyed that week.
And did you hurt City? I mean, how did it quite turn out? Just for everyone wondering.
I can't actually remember the final result. It might have been 4-1. Mark's going to Google it now. I think it was 4-1, but we did actually score. Harry McCurdy scored. He actually went through and scored, and I think it was 4-1, I believe. But yeah, it was a a good experience, you know, against obviously a top side. 4-1, yeah.
Lovely. And this might be a little bit of a tricky question. I don't want to put you on the spot, but say, I mean, you might well turn around and tell me your Crawley squad is perfect heading into this weekend. But thinking back, you know, when you used to watch the FA Cup, when you were younger as well, when you've played in the competition, if you could bring back one kind of FA Cup hero, put them in your Crawley squad right now, is there one player you could pick from that would just slot in, go straight in against Notts County this weekend?
Yeah, but I don't want to leave any of my players out.
Of course. Let's say for this weekend exclusively, you're allowed to play with 12 players on the pitch. Notts County, I got 12. You're allowed to play have one more addition. Give me a player.
FA Cup hero.
Someone who's done well in the FA Cup before.
Who was the fella at Hereford?
Ronnie Radford.
Ronnie Radford. There you go. I want Ronnie Radford in my midfield. He spanked it in. Right. He spanked it in the top corner, didn't he, from about 40 yards? It was against Newcastle, was it? Newcastle. Yeah, I want Ronnie Radford in my team.
All right, fantastic. And your opinion on the draw this weekend as well, because the FA Cup, it's somewhat of a competition you go into, and sometimes fans are looking for these big draws. Your teams are higher up in the divisions. I know we're still in the first round, but how do you feel about facing Notts County this weekend? Is it almost practice for the league later on, or how are you looking at it?
I think, you know, initially when the draw was made, my initial thought was it's a tough game away from home. You know, you kind of probably don't want anybody in your division in that first round, but it is what it is. And whilst it could have been kinder to us, you know, we have to take it and prepare accordingly, which we are doing now. And I'm actually really looking forward to the game. You know, I'm looking forward to, and I think also, which I've probably not discussed as well, is that in order for my young team, who we are kind of keeping developing and we want them to keep improving, we have to play against these sort of teams for them to get any real experience of of playing against a good side like Notts County. And the more we play against these teams, the better it is for us in the long run, you know. So we need to make sure we've got more, exposure, you know, against good sides like Notts County. So we look at it as a really positive game in many ways. What would I look at for the next? I ain't bothered, if I'm honest with you. It'd be nice to be at home because I think we're good at home. You know, we like being at home. But I'm not really bothered. And at the end of the day, you can wish for all you wish for, but you're probably not going to get what you're going to get. You're going to get something completely different. So it kind of is what it is, you know. And whatever it'll be, it will be. We just, you know, obviously we've got to concentrate first and foremost on Saturday's game. And like I say, it's a game we're really looking forward to.
And finally from me, there's been some mixed results over October. But, you know, this weekend there's a lot of positivity gains. Not only, as you said, your young players are getting exposure. There's, you know, potential practice against a top-level contender that you're going to come up against in the league. A win would also be it'd be brilliant going forward, no?
Of course, yeah. No, exactly. We try and set up every team and every game we play, we want to win. You know, and we won't be going there to get a draw or to sit behind the ball. We're going there to win, and you know, and that's how we've got to attack every game we play in. You know, we're mindful that they're a good side, but I think we're a good side. I think that we're probably a year away from where they are. You know, I think they were, when Luke first went in, he probably, you know, signed a lot of young players and coached them, and now they've got a way of playing that every single player understands. And we want to be in that position, you know, in maybe a season's time. And at the moment we're very similar. We're very, very similar in the way we play. But like I say, we've got very young players and we're a new squad, and there will be some bumps in the road. We've just got to make sure that we keep our confidence, no matter what the result ends up to be. We keep our confidence and we continue to develop and play.
Scott, thank you. I wish Crawley Town and Ronnie all the best this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.